Hey Jason, so I'd like to show you the kind of what the tower looks like when it's operating properly, just to give you an idea. Hopefully this will allow you to compare and contrast between the experiences you're having with your tower, just to get an idea of what's going on. I don't think at this point, I think we both know that you're going to have to get a new tower, which is sad to say because it's so frustrating. Spend all that money and get that beautiful tower in play and having issues. So I'm sorry that that's happened to you. But so let me just show you. I've got my tower here, and I'm going to turn it on. So when I turn it on, it's going to have a skull count of 0. All right, and so I had it on. There we go. Turned it off, and then I turned it back on. So now it is on, and it's not connected. I'm going to connect with the app. And you can say it's looking for tower. You should be able to see that pretty well. Hopefully this is kind of blocking it a little bit, but I don't think you need to see it at that point. And a pair. And you see that same thing that you were seeing. Here we've got connecting to the tower, all that information. Once it's subscribed, it's complete, connected. And the tower sends these battery responses. It's actually sending it every 200 microseconds, or no, not microseconds, what am I saying? 200 milliseconds. And I just have a configuration to show it only in a certain time frame, which is like every 15 seconds. And this extra information here is just stuff that I've added now. So this is normal. This is what you would normally see. And the tower hasn't calibrated. Now you see on the left over here in the app side that the skull count is 0. And that is because the app has, the page is refreshed and loaded the app, and it starts at a 0. It doesn't know what the tower is. And I think I might change that to like an asterisk to indicate that, okay, it's an unknown value. It's not 0 because it doesn't know what the tower knows yet. So once I connect, and we are connected, but once I cause a skull drop to happen, it'll get that information. The reason that you see a skull drop, your skull drop change is because you're getting a tower status message, which indicates that the tower, when it's not connected, is seeing or registering some kind of skull drop, whether that's in the firmware or whether it's in the hardware. Not quite sure. That's kind of a mystery to me right now. I don't quite understand how you're not getting the tower state responses when you're connected. But beyond that, so you can see that I never got a tower state response. Now, if I perform a calibration, the end of that calibration, the tower responds with a tower state. And I'll do that. So it's going through the processes. You see it's sent packets. And once it's done, it'll say the calibration's complete, and then we'll get a tower state response. All right, so there's the response. Calibration's complete. You notice that it didn't say any skulls had dropped. It didn't register it because I turned the unit on, and at the starting value is 0, which actually is the starting value of the app too. So they matched. Now I'm going to put my finger in the tower. This is a way you can do it without using skulls. I'm just going to put my finger in, and when I pull my finger out, it's going to register that connection. So I pull it out. You see that a skull drop was detected, and the value is kept in right here. But when that triggers, a response will come back from the tower, and in that response, it includes a lot of information. You see here, these are the drum locations and stuff, and a bunch of other stuff that would be set. I don't have any lights on or anything, but skull drop is right here, and it says, okay, there's a change in the app knows it's 0. The tower says I have 1, so I know that a skull must have been dropped. If I'll do it again, in, out. There's skull drop 2. Now nothing else is happening. Now I will disconnect. All right, and I'm gonna sit here and wait for a few seconds. I'm not sure how long you were waiting. I did the first video you had it, you were waiting a while there. And you waited a long time with it just sitting there connected and it not doing anything, which I had expected to see skull counts going, but it didn't. All right, so I think this is long enough that you would have seen a skull count change, but when I connect, all the connections are there. You can see that the tower connection complete, and then it's just a battery response, which is normal. But you notice there are no tower state responses, meaning that it didn't detect any skull counts. The skull count still says 2 here, and that's 2 because it didn't get any changes. Now I'm going to disconnect, and then I'm going to put my finger in here. Now the unit's not connected. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. All right, so that's 3 times that the tower registered that a skull was dropped. So right now the app says 2 because it doesn't know it because it's not connected. It's not getting that response. But when I connect, you'll see that it's going to send the tower state. And there it is right there, tower state. It's sent at 5, 2, and the tower says it's 5, so now it's changed to 5. This is kind of the normal behavior of the tower and what you would expect. Now in a game, they do that so that if for some reason it's disconnected and somebody dropped a skull, they're not screwed because the skull, when they reconnect, the app would be like, okay, go ahead and drop your skull, and you've already dropped one in, so you kind of put yourself behind. Although you could use the finger method and to fake that out, but that's part of the reasoning behind that. And that's really what you would see in the normal operation of the tower. You don't see any changes. Like if I'll do another calibration, and you'll notice that the skull count and the tower response when it's done doesn't change at all. Which actually gives me rise to an idea. What happens if I trigger the IR sensor while it's going through a calibration? I might do that just for curiosity. I wonder if it would register it. All right, so you can see that the state is still 5. This is the tower state that it sends after a calibration is complete, and that value is still 5, 5, nothing has changed. And then if I put my finger in, pull it out, go to 6. All right, I'm gonna, just for curiosity's sake, I'm gonna hit calibrate. And I'm gonna put my finger in here, which is a no-no. But I'm curious to see if it registered that while it was calibrating or if it ignored that. Doing a little on-the-fly investigation. Tower response, so it's complete, and it did register it, so it did. So I remembered that. So your post and everything has given me a whole new idea on how to do adding a diagnostic mode to this app to help troubleshoot. There's even more data that I still have to pull from the tower to differential readings, and I want to put in other stuff too. So I really appreciate you taking the time to post that and to respond to my questions and inquiries and using the app to see how things work. So that's much appreciated. I hope this helps and gives you an idea. I mean, it's not going to solve your problem, and all I can hope is for overnight delivery for you, my friend. But I'll talk to you later. Take care.